Welcome back to Middle of the Gaming, coming from the Battle of Waterloo, going on right behind me as we can see. Thanks for joining me again. This is going to be a bit of an epic episode in more ways than one. I'm going to give you a bit of a project update of where I am. Essentially, I've finished the first sprue of the starter set, but it is fully painted and based, and I've also finished the terrain piece that you get in the starter set. So that's also completely built and painted. We're going to flick straight over to those images so you can see them now. So there we are. That is the first sprue complete. We have the full line infantry, the commander, brigade commander, some 95th rifles, and a cannon, 6 or 9 pounder. I can't remember which one's in the sprue. So yeah, and then obviously behind that is the terrain piece that you get from the starter set. So that is my first sprue complete. I'm switch back to myself. So there we go. That's the project update as we are. But what I've got for you now is what is the plans for the channel regarding Epic Waterloo going forwards. So this is the epic part in where I said more ways than one, because what, courtesy of Paul Bonaparte, shall we say, I'm going to put some images up, Paul Bonaparte somewhere up here, we went all in on epic. Now this is totally his fault, not mine, and I was arguing all the way to the counter for him not to get every single item for Waterloo, but you know, he's very persuasive, and so we did. So I have my colleagues by the names of Paul Bonaparte and Chris Blueshare, which again, I'll put some images of him up as well shortly. But we're going to go through what we've got in store for the channel, all the different items which will be shown in this video, and then going forwards there'll be episodes opening every single box. So I hope that's going to be of some interest to you guys. I'm quite excited to see each box ripped open and delving into each one, and we'll take it from there. So let me pass you over to the next stage. So what is it we've got? Let's run through the parts piece by piece. First we'll start with Surrey scenery. So we've got the Hougoumont scenery pack, which looks like a absolutely huge, oh, bit of a flash there, farmhouse, as you can see in the image. That's going to look extremely good on the battlefield, take up quite a lot of it. See, it's quite several MDF sheets thick. And then we have the Papalot farm scenery pack. Not quite so many sheets, but still a very big kit. We have the Plansenoir scenery pack, which is some kind of church and graveyard with walls, so that'll be quite good. Just a couple of sheets thick, so should be a nice easy kit to build. It looks impressive with just a couple of sheets. And we have the La Haye Saint scenery pack. La Haye Saint. That is about 4 or 5 sheets. There we go, that's all the scenery. So let's move on to the French. So this is all the French expansions that are in plastic and the commanders. What isn't here is the French starter set. Paul Bonaparte has already opened and started building those, so I'm afraid we're only going to have these to go through. But essentially the starter set contains what is here as well, so we'll still get to see the same sprues,
So it should be quite good. So what do we have to go through for the French? We have the French commanders. And the commanders present are Kellerman, d'Aulon, Bonaparte himself. I'm going to struggle with these. Ney and Cuirassier commander. I'm guessing that's a generic commander for that unit. And then we have a box of French light cavalry. The 3 cannons, various units. Impressive set. So contents 3 light cavalry plastic sprues, bases and the flag leaflet. So the 6-pounder horse artillery, 9-foot long lances. Wow, okay, I can see why they were deadly. The next unit we have is the French infantry brigade with their great coats. I've got to say they look really nice, the great coats, and I kind of feel they'll be easier and quicker to get on the board as well than maybe the British, but we'll see. This unit still looks pretty detailed though as well. So what have we got in the contents? Again, I would imagine 3 sprues. Yep, 3 infantry sprues. 6-pounder artillery batteries again. Okay. Then we have the French Middle and Old Guard. With lots and lots of moustaches, and you got to join me with making sure Paul paints all those moustaches on. He's hinted that that might not happen, and I think what we'll have to do is if he doesn't paint all the moustaches on these figures, he's not allowed to use them as Old Guard. I think that's going to be a little house rule we're going to put in place. I'm pretty sure all you British and Prussian players will agree with that house rule. And the final box set for the French is heavy cavalry. And again, looks like moustaches. So he's going to have his work cut out within there. I think he needs to buy a few fine detailed brushes. Again, 3 plastic sprues, bases and flags. And that is the French. So the next group of goodies we have are for the Prussians. So first things first, we have the Prussian commanders. Which are Perch the First, von Zieten, Gneisenau, von Bülow and Blücher himself. Look quite good models they do. I quite like the sculpts on those, the way they're standing and posing. That'd be nice. We have Prussian Cavalry Brigade. So it looks like we've got some skirmisher rifles there as well. The next box we have is Prussian Landwehr Brigade. That's an interesting set. So we've got infantry and some light cavalry, I believe, up the top as well. And a little skirmishing base. So that's quite an interesting box set. Quite a variety in that. No cannons in this box set though. We have the Prussian Infantry Brigade. So this one has got the cannons and this has got the majority of the infantry in. Nice flags. £12-pounder artillery batteries, wow, some big guns. And last but not least for the Prussians, we have to open the entire Prussian army starter set. One of the good things about this Prussian Army starter set, as we rattle it around, is the scenery piece for this is a nice little windmill, because the French and the English come with the same building, so it's nice to have a bit of variety there. So as you can see, lifting this ginormous box set up, we have a lot of infantry, a lot of cavalry and a lot of guns. This really is an army in a box. 8 mounted brigade commanders, 8 units of Prussian line infantry, 5 units of landwehr infantry, 2 units of Jaegers, 35 skirmishing Jaegers, 5 bases of cavalry, landwehr cavalry, Prussian dragoons, 3 of those, Prussian Uhlans, 3 of those, and 3 Prussian hussars. 8 12-pounder guns and 1 6-pounder as well. Battery, wow. A lot of guns. Yeah, that sounds like a bit of a different army. Can't remember seeing differences between 12-pounder and 6-pounder in the rules. There must be somewhere, I guess. I saw smooth bore artillery and light smooth bore artillery mentioned, but I don't know how that relates to those, but I'm sure it does somewhere. I think that'll be a topic for another video, but that's the Prussians. And last but no means least, my army, the good old British, the Tommies, which I believe is a coin phrased at the Battle of Waterloo, was it? Or at least with Wellington involved. So there we have the British Allied commanders. So we have a generic cavalry commander, Picton, Prince William of Orange, Uxbridge and Wellington himself. I do find it funny that Picton just seems to be some kind of just some guy off the street, obviously a noble still, but he doesn't seem to be wearing any kind of military uniform or regalia. Again, me having very limited knowledge of the Napoleon era, I don't know why, so more than welcome for you guys to set me straight in comments, but I will be trying to find out at some point anyway, just do find it interesting. Right, what have we got next? We have the British Light Cavalry Brigade. Again, 3 sprues, some artillery, I think 6-pounders are they? Oh no, 9-pounders. There we go. We have British Heavy Cavalry. They're good old Roman style helmets. And the Scots Greys I think in there as well. Which I'm quite looking forward to painting those, mostly because I think the horses will be far easier to paint. Once they're primed white, I'm just going to wash them with apothecary grey contrast, and that's it, pretty much done. Then we have a British Infantry Brigade. So as per what you get in the starter set, a lot of these boxes are as per what you get in the starter sets, so expanding those quantities out the starter sets. And last but no means least of the British is the Highlanders and Riflemen. That's what I really wanted, to get the skirmishing riflemen. It looks like, are those howitzers in this box set? Yeah, 5.5 inch howitzer battery. Cool. And got to paint lots and lots of skirts. Sorry, kilts. Only joking, I'm only messing about. That's going to be tricky getting all the tartan patterns. I'll try my best. Is there any bagpipers in there? Oh yeah, there's one. Right at the end there. That's brilliant. Tricky but brilliant. Okay, and there we are, that's all the British. Whoops, collapsed it. So yeah, quite a lot to paint, and looking forward to it. Catch you soon.
So there we go, a big pile of models. Daunting, exciting, probably a few other words as well that I maybe won't say on the live on the channel. I'm looking forward to it, but it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of hard work to complete the armies for all three of us. For Paul Bonaparte, Chris Blucher, and myself. Yeah, it's going to be good fun. I'm really looking forward to getting the models done. I really enjoy painting them, and really want to have a game. I've still reading through the book. Got a few things that I find odd in the book. Odd's not the right word. Just kind of that aren't clear. I think we're going to put that in a video for another time where I go over some of the book and maybe ask for advice from you more experienced guys. I'd also like to play a few turns of the game, maybe kind of a tutorial for myself, so play through movement turns, movement, shooting, close combat, things like that, morale. And I think that'd be very useful. I always find it quite useful to learn the game by actually playing it rather than reading the book. So hopefully that'll be good. Yeah, and I think during that video maybe I'll go over some of the items I've seen in the book that I could just do with explaining or advising where I've maybe misread, if I have misread, or where I can find the rule and it does exist if it is there. Like I said, I've not finished reading the book, so I don't want to say anything now in case it's in a section I haven't got to, but there's just a couple of areas that I'm just unsure on at the moment. So yeah, looking forward to it. So we're going to have a lot of unboxings coming up. I'm going to go through all those box sets, which is going to... there's a lot of content, shall we say, for Epic. Now, it's not going to be all Epic. I'm going to have other items on the channel. Bolt Action, Flames of War, Victory at Sea. Maybe some others eventually, but those are the key ones for the time being. So bear with me if Epic isn't your thing. I do aim to get other items on there. One thing I would say is that the MDF terrain that comes in all these Epic sets actually works very well for Flames of War. So if there are Flames of War players out there, the terrain looks really good for that game as well. So yeah, it's some exciting times ahead. Can't wait for it. And I can't wait to finally get a battle report filmed, full-on battle report with myself and either Captain Bonaparte or Chris Blucher, or maybe even both on the field of battle, and see what we can do. See if we can see if that wily old fox Bonaparte will outmaneuver us and tear us apart. I think the real Bonaparte might, but the Paul Bonaparte, I don't know. It's definitely a inferior version. So we'll see. But anyway, really excited for it. I'm over the moon about how many people are watching the channels and how many people have subscribed. So hopefully you'll be eager to see how this progresses and join us on our journey of getting to Waterloo and having a battle. So thank you for joining. Again, if you're watching and haven't subscribed, it's free to do. It takes a second to click the button. I really appreciate it if you could. It means that when I do release a video, and there's going to be a lot coming up, that you'll get notification for it. So you'll catch it as soon as it comes out. And it just helps my channel grow, and I can see what is popular, what's not popular, and focus on the things that you guys want to see. So yeah, if you if you're thinking about subscribing, I really appreciate giving that button a press. I know everyone says it, but yeah, it does really help. And I'll see you next time. Thank you very much, and take care.